What's up, everyone? Welcome to Ya episode 15 with me, Smash Pop.
I'm Jeremy, and this is a podcast where Jason and I, we hang out, we talk about stuff, and we give out those good vibes.
Good vibes is right. Okay, so it's been a month, I think, that we've not been doing podcasts, right?
We're so inconsistent. We are like, this is what it's like. My teachers were right. My teachers were like, Jeremy, if you keep going like this, you'll never
fail.
finish. You'll never, yeah. And then I think like, no lah, I must do something I'm interested in and then I'll keep going.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing something I'm interested in. But even then I can go a month without doing anything.
Correct.
So
I think we can win an award lah. The most inconsistent podcast award.
I think we're the only person in the running.
But of course, like if you are not following, right, you wouldn't know. So, nobody's gonna know.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But for those of you who did await our return, we are here and we want to talk about stuff that matters to us. And the biggest thing that has just taken over my life,
Wow, what is it?
Sandman.
Really?
I mean,
Me too,
it's such a good show.
Yeah.
It's so good. Okay. Like, tell us, why do you like Sandman?
Okay. So, one day I was just scrolling Netflix and then I'm like, oh, Sandman. Quite nice. So is this like the origin story of the villain in Spider-Man? I'm like, I think it should be a good show. I clicked. So I clicked lah. I'm like, yes lah. Finally I can see like how this guy becomes Sandman. So I watched and I'm like, this is not the Sandman I want to see. What is this dream thing?
Where
like
is
Dream King.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, where is Spider-Man? So I'm like, no, Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is DC, right? Wait, is DC Warner Brothers? I don't know. And then I'm like, okay lah, I think this is a wrong show.
But then you kept with it.
I kept with it because episode 1 was so captivating. I couldn't stop and I continued watching episode 2, episode 3, and then I'm like, wow, did I just stumble upon a damn good show? And then I went online and then I see people talking about Sandman also. Then I'm like, okay lah, maybe this is a really good show for this year from Netflix.
It is one of the most anticipated shows on Netflix for myself personally. Because I'm a big fan of the Sandman like comic books and the universe and the author Neil Gaiman. So when I heard they were making a Sandman like Netflix series, I was like, they gotta do this right. They have to do this right. Because this is a thing that I've been waiting for since like the 90s, like a live action remake of the comic. And prior to this, they wanted to make a movie and it tak jadi, couldn't agree on a script, it was in production hell for a bit. And then when I saw the initial like teaser trailers that came out a couple of years back, I was like, oh, this could be good.
So the thing is, this Sandman comic has been around and I didn't know about it.
Since the 80s, man.
Oh, 80s some more.
Yeah.
And you were following the comic series without telling me.
I mean, to be fair, the comic series finished long time ago.
Which is like insignificant to tell now.
The comic series finished before I even met you.
Oh. Okay.
So there's no reason to talk about it.
Damn old lah.
It's very old.
So basically, what is Sandman? Like the comic Sandman, what is it about?
It's essentially about like dream, like the Lord of Dreams.
Okay.
So in the comic books, there are these entities called the Endless, who are beyond like the gods and the deities that we know. They are kind of almost like constructs of like the fabric of what makes reality.
Is it like the Eternals?
A little no lah. Eternals are like aliens.
I mean, I thought they are gods.
Yeah,
from the sky.
Okay, so yeah, but they were created by somebody, right? The Eternals.
Okay.
So like the Endless are essentially woven from the fabric of reality. They are part law of like what exists.
Okay.
So like the Endless, and this is not a spoiler because like consists of destiny, death, dream, desire and despair, and then delirium. So if you will take it in that context, these 5 siblings, these are the 5 pillars of what make up our reality.
Okay.
And so they all have their jobs to do.
Yep.
To serve us as we live our
And
lives.
the Sandman is purely about dream.
He is just the master of all things dream.
Okay. But is he like the big boss in the whole group?
No.
Like, is he the eldest?
The eldest is Destiny.
Destiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Destiny is this blind man in a hood who walks an endless maze. A maze where like his kingdom, his realm is a maze where all paths converge and move on from each other. And he reads from the book of Destiny where he knows all things that are about to happen and he just follows through as he's walking those paths.
Okay.
It's quite amazing, actually.
But it's quite interesting for me as someone who doesn't know anything about the background, and as a person who first time watching this show, and then I'm like, wow, this show is almost like I don't know how to say. It's almost like a very fiction show, but it is a combination of old school, like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, old school, and then suddenly there's also like modern times, like like London, and then like very high tech, got cars, got phones. Then I'm like, what is this? A combination of two eras in one show.
It's like a bit of like the old school magic with like modern kind of like reality, right?
Correct. So it's very interesting. Of course, it is also shot in London, I
Right.
think.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting because, Sherlock Holmes.
What? Like, how did we get from Sandman to Sherlock Holmes?
Everything that happens in London feels good.
Okay,
Especially like the accent.
yeah. Yeah, everything sounds like more posh and more proper.
Also, one thing, the main character, this Sandman, this
Morpheus.
Dream King, Morpheus, it's the first time I see this person acting in a show.
This actor, yeah?
This actor.
John Sturridge, I think his name is.
And
yeah.
his voice is so amazing. His voice can actually make you sleep like in real life. If he reads you like bedtime stories,
In a
you will
good way.
sleep.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Right?
His voice is like what's that guy?
guy?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. It's like one of those iconic voices.
Iconic voices. Amazing.
I have to say, he's also a tremendous actor. Like the first episode of The Sandman, the guy didn't say a word, but you could see all the emotion, like the flashes of rage, like anger, despair, all there. But don't have to read script.
No need. Wow, so amazing. That show is amazing.
Like if you haven't seen The Sandman, you really, really should. And because like the comic book itself is like 10 trade paperback volumes, and it tells this amazing story. And recently I found out that Neil Gaiman himself has expanded upon the Sandman comics.
Okay.
By working together, by curating what is called the Sandman universe.
Okay.
So in the comics, this is a comic by the way, the Sandman universe is basically him handpicking comic writers to write certain stories relating to parts of the Sandman universe, to just kind of like grow it a little bit. And over the past weekend, I got my hands on a couple of them.
Ooh.
And I was just reading them and I'm just like, oh, this is some good stuff, man.
Really?
Some solid stuff. It really feels very in line with the spirit of Sandman. And I have to say, I'm so happy that this franchise is still around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
I also want to say something. This is probably the only show on Netflix, right? I mean, let's talk about this Netflix shows, not comic or whatever. This is the only Netflix show that has almost 90 or 80% of everyone in the show being a part of the LGBTQ community.
Oh, there's definitely a lot of representation in
You
the
know
show.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like almost everyone is in the same-sex relationship.
Is it almost,
Almost.
everyone? Very, yeah, it's not like a, yeah, I get what you mean. It's
like-
a very modern take on things.
The only probably straight characters in the couple is the Barbie and Ken doll.
Yes,
Right?
correct.
And everyone else, I cannot remember who, but
Like-
okay, the very first one, the son of the burgers,
Roderick Burgess, yes, the son.
the son and the worker,
Yeah, the
You know,
gardener
the
or whatever,
gardener,
yeah.
that was the first one.
Yep.
And then second one was
Then the in the diner. In
the diner, the Donna and the other girl,
Right.
And then the black guy who is supposed to marry to the CEO, the woman,
Correct.
and then he went to the kitchen and then he did something with the chef.
He also did some action, correct?
Yeah.
And then Johanna Constantine.
Johanna Constantine also has a female partner.
Yep.
Wow. Amazing. This show is like breaking all the rules.
It's interesting also because like that's something I think the comics are always.
But was it like that in the comics?
yeah, I mean, okay. So Johanna Constantine was John Constantine in the comics, so it was a guy. But the sense of like gender fluidity and like almost like the LGBTQ representation, it was always there.
In the comics.
There was always that. It never felt out of place because like desire, if you want, right? So desire in the comics, right, is you don't really has no real gender one. Like the personification of desire is sometimes a little bit more feminine, sometimes a little bit more masculine. So in the show, the way they filmed or they created the character actually very realistic and it's very true to the comic.
Yeah.
Because it's like, are you or are you? And the truth is neither and everyone.
Correct.
Everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
I like how they actually portray desire. Because she looks very nice in her outfit.
Yeah.
You know, with all the bling bling and the lipstick and the makeup and stuff.
Very stylish, right?
Very stylish.
Comic
And
also like
especially like when he or she is in the chamber, I'm like, wow, this place is so nice. And then him or her looking so stylishly lying on the, you know, whatever it is on the floor. Damn nice.
It's a vibe, man.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. So the Sandman TV series, I honestly think Sandman as a Netflix series, first season alone, is probably my favorite Netflix series. I think it is the
So far?
best. Like, I think it is like up there in terms of the
Wow.
best shows you can watch on Netflix.
Definitely not Titans.
Titans is a terrible show. Let's not talk about that one. We burn that show. Waste my time, waste my
Yeah,
heart.
man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's about Sandman. If you haven't watched it, so sorry. We spoiled everything for you.
I mean, the comics have been around since the 80s lah. So
If you haven't seen the comics, too bad lah. People give you 20 years already.
yeah. Aside from that, what else has been happening to you, man?
Let's talk about this thing in front of me first. You know, talk about this watch that you're having now.
Oh, what I have in my hand?
Yeah.
Oh, I like now. Finally, one time I got watch the show. Right? My friend, this is the Longines Zulu time.
Longines, huh? Oh, so what you want to tell us about the watch and what you think about it after wearing it for a while?
So I've had this watch for about a month now, and I'm wearing it as a bit of a loner. But I have to say, it is a very beautiful watch. It's got a green bezel,
Yep.
dark green bezel. It's got gilt-ish markings, and it changes in the light. The dial itself is called anthracite. So in certain lights, it's black but then it shifts over. You can see it's a bit of a gray. It's a little bit textured. It's very gorgeous. It's got a date marker on the 6 o'clock placing.
Yep.
And it's got a 5-star rating as
It's a GMT, right?
It is a GMT. It is a true GMT.
True GMT.
It's a true GMT as
Okay.
well, with a jumping hour hand and everything.
Yeah.
So this is actually a very, very beautiful watch. My only thing, and it's a personal thing
Yep.
that I'm not such a fan of, is it's a little bit too big for my wrist.
This is a 42.
It's a
if
42
I remember
mm.
correctly.
Yes.
Yeah. You try turn the bezel, put at the mic there, let everyone hear the tick, 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 tick.
Okay.
Everyone, this is ASMR. Watch ASMR.
It brings me so much joy to hear the
Yeah,
clicking,
yeah.
man.
See, look at the back. Is it a transparent
No,
back
it's
case?
not.
Okay. So this Zulu time comes in a few colors. There's a blue, there's a black, and there's a green. The green is the one that you're having now.
Yes.
And to me, I do think that the blue is quite interesting, especially when it comes with the blue leather strap.
Ooh.
Yeah, but of course, when it comes to the green, it's always better to get it with the bracelet, I feel.
Yes.
Because the green and the bracelet looks very nice together.
I have to say, when it comes to Longines and the watches that they do, I don't know if you noticed this, but their blue always feels a little bit different from other watch blues. Like there's almost like a Longines blue when they do a blue dial or a blue strap or a blue bezel, whatever, anything blue.
Yeah.
Their blue is just a
It's
little
that particular tone of blue.
like, and only they do this blue, or at least it feels to me like it's only like this is the Longines blue.
Yeah.
Right?
But I also feel that Longines, they have a very signature font face for the numbers.
Oh.
Like all their watches, if it's like a numeral number dial, all the fonts are the same. No matter whether it's like a spirit or Zulu or whatever lah, you know. But the fonts are always the same, which is also the reason why I don't prefer all the Longines, because they all use the same font.
So you're not a fan of the font per se?
I'm not a fan of the font.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah. So the font, right, gives me a feeling that, I mean, it's a nice font.
Right.
I like numbered, like numeral dials, but this font makes me feel like I will get bored of the font very quickly.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So because previously I was very interested in the Zulu time, right?
Right, I remember this.
So yeah, I went and checked it out, like this watch. I'm like, oh, very nice. Oh my god, yes. And then after a while, I realized that, I still like the watch, but I don't like the font. How now?
It's so interesting that you feel this way, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feel the exact opposite.
Huh?
Like I look at the font of this watch and I think to
okay.
myself, this watch, the numbers look better every time I look at it. It's so interesting that you're like, your one gripe about the watch is the thing that I think like, actually, this is a very timeless numerical design that I think will not look old.
Okay.
Because it's already a little bit more on a vintagey vibe.
Yes, it's vintagey numerals, but it's kind of modern also.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Just not your cup of tea per se.
correct.
Doesn't this remind you a little bit of the Tudor Ranger as
Yes,
font?
because of the beige, the vanilla color font, and also like the indices and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I'm very glad I got the chance to actually have a watch to show, as opposed to like the 1,000 years every show is a new watch, which he has gotten, by the way. He's not wearing it today.
Let's not talk about watches on my side for this episode.
It's got an addiction. We have to do an intervention already.
Yeah, man. So anyway, I'm wearing. No, I'm just kidding. But today I'm wearing my. Is it like a wrist check thing
Today's
now?
a wrist check.
So today I'm wearing, my second love in my collection is the PRX by Tissot.
It is one of the early watches that you
Yeah,
got,
and every time I wear it again, I'm like, wow, this watch is really nice lah. Like the way it shimmers and all, right? It still
sparks joy.
It still sparks joy. Like I will never sell this watch.
Yeah, and now I notice you're also wearing your Apple Watch at the same time.
Oh yes. Oh, let's segue to this reason why I'm wearing two watches now every single day.
So this is your new look. It is
Yes.
It is a two watch thing.
Yes, I'm a two watch guy now.
Oh man.
Left hand will be my mechanical watch. Right hand will be my Apple Watch. Why? Because I do work out sometimes. I still need the Apple Watch to track my activity.
Yep.
But the most important reason is Apple Pay is in Malaysia.
Jang jang jang.
And I wanna pay for my transactions using Apple Pay. And I don't want to use Apple Pay on my iPhone.
Why not?
Because if I take the iPhone out to use Apple Pay, it's almost like I'm scanning the Grab code or Touch and Go code.
Right.
So what's the point?
Right.
I'm still taking the food out from my pocket. But the only reason of convenience is I can just pay using my watch.
So it's almost like you're wearing the watch also partially to just get the full Apple Pay experience. Like you want to do all the way with all the resources you can to just maximize like ease of use.
Correct. Okay, so since we're on this topic, right, I don't want to talk about what is Apple Pay and stuff, but I have two things that I want to share with you and also like maybe all the listeners.
Okay.
Two things that you might not know related to Apple Pay.
Oh wow. Are we gonna
Which I have never really shared before with anyone.
not even in our private conversations?
No.
Oh wow. Bring it.
Are you ready?
Because I'm gonna tell you right now what's gonna happen is you're gonna tell me this, and then I'm gonna tell people I'm very clever. Alright? So this is very important for me.
Okay, first things first. Did you know that in the Apple Pay app, right, there's a toggle.
Okay.
Okay, this feature might not be available in Malaysia yet, but it's already in the app.
Okay.
Okay. So there's this feature called Apple Pay Express.
Alright.
Apple Pay Express, and then if you switch on the toggle, that means every time you take a public transport, you don't have to double press the button to launch Apple Pay. You just need to tap your phone or your watch on the scanner thing, before you enter the barrier, and then it will detect, and then it will just deduct your money, and then you can just go straight.
That's so good.
That's the whole point of the Express feature, because you don't want to, wait at the barrier, double tap your watch, and then scan and then go.
So this one only works specifically for public transportation.
Only public transport.
So if you wanted to so it won't read if you wanted to buy coffee or whatever.
Cannot. So of course, not all the countries apply this thing in their systems. Of course, like Singapore got, London got. So now we're just waiting for Rapid KL, see if they want to implement this thing or enable this feature whereby when it detects an Apple Watch, it will just use the Apple Pay Express to charge your money.
Do you hear that, Rapid KL? Do you hear that? The technology is there, right? I know you got contract with Touch and Go, but I think you can implement this too. Just saying, find a way to make it work. Thank you very much.
Yes. Second thing, right? It's more like previously, yes, I know I can use Apple Pay to pay for my stuff.
Yep.
But I didn't want to do that because I still want to use my Grab Because when I scan using my Grab and Pay, I will get points.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And then eventually all these points I can use it to pay for my other stuff. So Apple Pay is like, what's the point? I got no points.
Yep.
You know? And then I realized one thing.
What?
Oh my God. We've been conned for so long.
Why?
Not sure if you know this, but
Okay.
I didn't know this.
Okay.
If at the counter, the QR code is not a Grab QR code, it's a Do It Now code, like the pink color one.
Right.
If you scan using a Grab and Pay, you won't get any points.
What?
You didn't know?
No.
See, now you know.
Hey, son of a...
You only get your Grab points if the QR code is like the green QR code. So all this while, if you've been scanning your Grab on the Do It Now thing, the pink color QR code, and you pay, you will notice your transaction, how much you've paid, how much, but there will not be any points given to you.
This has occurred to me before, because sometimes you get points notifications and sometimes you don't. But you know how sometimes like you just swipe notifications away? I always thought like
correct.
maybe... What?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means now it's only worth it if I'm only scanning the green colored.
Grab QR code.
But what if they scan me?
Cannot.
What?
Yeah.
Then for what I use GrabPay?
You use GrabPay when the QR code is green.
But everybody scans you now. Most people scan you now. Like I don't
Correct.
think I've seen a green like standee in a long time.
That's exactly how Grab is moving forward. It's like, let's cut down on giving people free points by integrating ourselves into the Do It Now, the national Do It Now QR code.
Hey, you bastard. I fight so hard for you, Grab. I am such a supporter and you do this to me. Like, what do you lose by giving me points? Already your points, I have to like squeeze blood from a stone.
Correct.
And now... You want me to buy Apple Watch, is it? Because really? The only reason why you're reluctant to get an Apple Watch is because you want to scan Grab and then get Grab codes, right? It makes the most sense. And here's the irony of it. You see more touch and go standees than you do Grab standees.
Yes. Correct. Because why? Because touch and go, at the end of the day, they never give you any points anyway since day one. So it's okay. I can still put my touch and go code there.
Right.
But not Grab. Grab is like, never mind, you scan the Do It Now because it go through Do It Now. It doesn't go through Grab, so I cannot give you points.
How much money are you earning already, Grab? You cannot give 10, 20, 30 points like that, a little bit here and there. I did not know this.
So now you know. So that's the second thing that I want to share. And that is also why nowadays I use a lot more Apple Pay, because the moment I see the counter there is the Do It Now pink color QR code, I'm like, never mind lah. I use Apple Pay because if I use Grab, no points anyway.
Wow. My feelings are... I'm a bit sad. And I'm also a bit angry. And also I feel very stupid. Because I've been taken advantage of.
Well,
I have been, okay? Because nobody said this. That Grab did not put in FAQ only if you scan. And maybe they did, I never read also. Actually, maybe.
exactly.
So
many things you paid for, right?
Yeah,
and then
man.
you thought you can get points.
I thought I was like, my position as platinum user is solid lah. Everything I pay now with Grab.
Correct.
It's true. Everything I pay now with Grab.
Yeah.
Grab. Why you like this? Why you do this? Don't stop paying influencers to go and do the Grab campaign. Just give us points.
Correct.
Like, really?
But seriously, there's no point using Grab because you got no points.
Wow. Wow. That's deep, bro.
I know, right? So there you go. Little thing that you didn't know about Grab and Apple Pay. So
Wow,
please use Apple Pay.
I wanted to be educated, but I didn't expect to be heartbroken. Oh, man. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyways, speaking of Apple Pay, because it only supports like Maybank, MBank, and StanChart, when it launched, I was so sad, heartbroken, like Jeremy now. Because all three banks I use cannot support.
So
Citibank cannot, Hong Leong Bank cannot,
Public Bank cannot.
Public Bank cannot.
Why?
I'm like, I use all three banks, three banks also cannot use Apple Pay.
So in the end, but you got a...
So in the end, I installed this May app.
Okay.
This is an advertisement. I installed this May app, and then in the May app, it's like Grab lah. You can use May app to pay for whatever scan. It's also like a debit feature, like e-wallet. You put money inside to pay. And because you put money inside the app, you can actually apply for a debit card.
Right.
So the debit card is under Maybank. and then whatever money you transfer into the May app, e-wallet, it goes to your debit card. So you can use the debit card to minus money from your May app.
Okay.
So the debit card is also a Visa card, means it is able to be inserted into your Apple Watch or Apple Wallet as Apple Pay.
So now my next question is, got points or any perks or anything of the sort or not?
No.
Never mind, can use Apple Pay. Better than Grab.
Yeah, correct.
I say this now, right? Now you see, I can never get Grab rides. I'm blacklisted already. Like, you're never getting Grab ride ever again. Always got surcharge, you bitch.
Oh well.
That's right.
Things you didn't know until you listen to yeah. So you wait one episode. Okay, I think we should end this episode here lah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I gotta go and console myself after this
I
very
think you have no mood
heartbreaking,
to talk anymore.
heartbreaking revelations. Life and love, all gone.
Yeah, so don't forget to also subscribe to us. On Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. And if you want to follow us, we are also on Instagram. My name is Smashpop.
I'm Jer Says.
And see you guys in the next episode. Bye.